I want to start this video by saying this very clearly. I am not new to this topic. My name is Uzma, and I was one of the first women on YouTube to ever speak openly, seriously, and at length about semen retention. Not for shock value, not for clicks, not because it was trendy, but because it found me. This is important to understand. I never planned to talk about semen retention. I never planned to coach men. I never planned to be the woman having these conversations. But life has a funny way of putting you exactly where you're meant to be when you finally start listening. And before anyone rushes to say it, yes, I'm a woman. No, I do not have semen. But what I do have is sexual energy. And sexual energy is not gendered. It is life force. It is creative power. It is the same energy that builds civilizations, creates art, builds bodies, and changes destinies. I know this because I lived it. For 6 to 7 months of my life, I went fully abstinent. No sex, no self-pleasure, no cheap dopamine. I cut out social media almost completely, except for posting my YouTube videos. No scrolling, no external validation, no distractions. Just me and my energy. And let me tell you something, that decision changed everything. When people hear semen retention or sexual retention, they think it's about becoming more attractive. They think it's about women staring at you, more attention, more desire, more power over others. And while some physical changes do happen, that's not the point. Yes, I noticed my skin got clearer, my eyes looked brighter, my face looked more alive. But that's not why this works. This works because sexual energy is directly tied to your life force. And when you stop leaking it, you finally have enough energy to see clearly. Most people are tired, anxious, unfocused, and stuck, not because life is hard, but because their energy is constantly being drained. Drained by porn, drained by compulsive pleasure, drained by validation chasing, drained by fantasy. When your energy is constantly leaving your body, your mind can never stabilize. And when your mind isn't stable, you can't build anything real. This is why semen retention works, not because it makes you better than other men, but because it gives you back yourself. And I want to say something that might make some people uncomfortable. Sexual energy holds a lot of shame in our society, and shame is dangerous because shame turns into blame. Blame toward life, blame toward women, blame toward parents, blame toward circumstances, blame toward yourself. And when you live in blame, you stay powerless. Shame comes from doing things you know are not in your best interest. Your body knows, your nervous system knows, your soul knows. Every time you act against yourself, that feeling builds. And semen retention, or sexual retention, brings all of that to the surface. That's why many men quit early, not because it doesn't work, but because it does. It forces you to sit with yourself. It removes the escape. It removes the numbness. It removes the illusion. And suddenly, you see your life clearly. Now, let me talk directly to the men watching this. If you're doing semen retention only to attract women, you're missing the point. Yes, attraction happens naturally, but the moment you obsess over it, you leak the energy again. Retention doesn't work if you're still seeking validation. You cannot hold power while begging to be chosen. The men who struggle with this practice are usually still focused outward. How many girls will notice me? How long until I get attention? How powerful do I look? That mindset cancels the entire process because sexual energy must be transmuted. That means redirected into purpose, into creation, into discipline, into self-respect. When I stopped releasing my energy, I didn't sit around waiting for results. I created. Ideas started pouring in. Clarity arrived. Direction formed. And for the first time in my life, I felt aligned. Most people don't lack talent. They lack energy. And people who constantly overuse sexual energy often feel behind in life. Behind financially. Behind emotionally. Behind mentally. Behind spiritually. They feel stuck, but they don't know why. This is why. They've been spending their creative currency on temporary pleasure, and pleasure without purpose empties you. This video excites me because it marks almost a full year of me choosing myself, a full year of deciding who I am, and decision is everything. Most people don't decide, they drift. They let habits decide, they let urges decide, they let the past decide. Semen retention exposes that. It shows you whether you are in control or on autopilot. Now, I want to be very clear here. I don't believe in extremes. I don't believe semen retention is about becoming superior to other men, and I don't believe it's healthy to hold sexual energy indefinitely without intention. Sex is powerful. Sex is sacred. Sex is meant to be shared, but not before you learn how to hold it, not before you learn discipline, not before you learn self-direction. Your intention determines your outcome. If your intention is to break addiction, rebuild confidence, reclaim focus, and change your life, this practice will change you. If your intention is ego, hierarchy, or control, it will collapse. So ask yourself this: where do you want to be 1 year from now? And be honest. What is stopping you? Is it distraction? Is it porn? Is it lack of discipline? Is it fear of discomfort? Most men avoid discomfort because they don't have enough energy to face it. Retention gives you that energy, and with energy comes courage. With courage comes action. With action comes momentum. I want to share something personal. 1 year ago, I had no direction. I had just gone through a breakup. I was seeking validation through my body. I was lost, and I stood at a crossroads: stay the same or go to war with the version of myself that was afraid of discomfort. I chose war. I chose discipline. I chose energy. And the life I'm living now, the freedom, the abundance, the clarity, came from that decision. I didn't manifest it by wishing. I built it by respecting my energy. This practice will show you everything you've been avoiding, but it will also give you everything you've been searching for. Your eyes will look clearer, your presence will feel stronger, your focus will sharpen, your confidence will rise naturally, not because you're trying, but because you're aligned. And the women you attract, they will reflect your inner state. Relationships are mirrors. When your energy is clean, your mirror is clear. And when your mirror is clear, the right people recognize you immediately. I am living proof. I am still creating. I am still building. I am not finished, and neither are you. And I want you to understand something very important. This journey is not about perfection. You are not weak if you slip. You are not a failure if you fall. You are not broken if you struggle. Struggle is part of reclaiming power. Most men have never been taught how to sit with their energy. They have been taught how to escape it. Escape through screens, escape through fantasy, escape through instant pleasure. So when you stop releasing, everything comes up. Restlessness, frustration, old emotions, old memories, old patterns. That doesn't mean it's not working. That means it's finally working. Semen retention doesn't create problems, it reveals them. And whatever it reveals is exactly what needs your attention. This is why discipline feels uncomfortable at first, because you're no longer running from yourself, you're facing yourself, and that takes courage. Most men live their entire lives without ever experiencing what real internal strength feels like. They think strength is dominance. They think strength is aggression. They think strength is loud confidence. But true strength is restraint. True strength is being able to feel desire without being controlled by it. True strength is choosing your future over a moment. True strength is directing your energy instead of wasting it. When you retain, your nervous system recalibrates. You start sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, moving with intention. Your body stops living in survival mode. And slowly, very slowly, you start to trust yourself again. That trust is everything. Because a man who trusts himself doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, he doesn't seek approval. He moves, and life responds. This is why people say semen retention makes men more attractive. Not because of magic, not because of mysticism, but because grounded energy is rare, presence is rare, self-control is rare, and humans are wired to notice what is rare. You don't need to tell anyone what you're doing. You don't need to announce your discipline. You don't need validation for your self-respect. The shift happens internally first, and then externally, everything adjusts. Your posture changes, your voice steadies, your eyes hold weight. People feel it before they understand it. And here's something no one talks about enough. Retention teaches you patience. In a world addicted to instant gratification, patience becomes a superpower. You stop expecting everything immediately. You stop panicking when results don't show up right away. You understand timing. And when you understand timing, you stop forcing life. You allow it to meet you. This is where purpose becomes clear. Because purpose doesn't scream, it whispers. And you can't hear whispers when your mind is constantly overstimulated. Silence brings answers. Stillness brings direction. Energy brings execution. Most men don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never stay consistent long enough to see momentum. Retention builds momentum, day by day, choice by choice, decision by decision. And one day you wake up and realize you're no longer the same person. The urges don't control you. The past doesn't define you. The opinions don't shake you. You're rooted. And from that place, creation becomes natural. Work feels meaningful. Goals feel achievable. Discipline feels rewarding. This is the version of you that attracts opportunity, not just women, not just money, but alignment. Now I want to speak to the man who feels discouraged, the man who's tried before and quit, the man who feels like nothing ever sticks, the man who doubts himself quietly. Listen carefully. You don't need motivation. You need clarity, and clarity comes from energy. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel confident. Stop waiting to feel worthy. Act first. Energy follows. Retention is not about forcing willpower. It's about removing leaks. Every leak you seal gives you power back. And power builds identity. Identity builds destiny. I've watched men completely transform by simply deciding to take themselves seriously. Not because someone saved them, not because something external changed, but because they stopped abandoning themselves. And I want you to remember this. Discomfort is not danger. Your body might resist change. Your mind might fight discipline, but growth always feels unfamiliar.